Newcastle Brown Ale was launched in 1927, and a 1960 merger of two breweries afforded the beer national distribution, leading sales to peak in the United Kingdom during the early 1970s. The brand then underwent a resurgence in the late 1980s and early 1990s when student unions began selling the brand. By the late 1990s, the beer was the most widely distributed alcoholic product in the UK. But by the 2000s, the majority of sales were in the United States, and the Brits didn't like that too much. So what did they do? Let me scroll here on Wikipedia to find the second point I was going to make. Okay, so in 2000, they renamed the beer Newcastle Brown, with the, quote, ale being removed from the front label. Why? This change, only in the UK, was due to market research claiming that the term ale was outdated and costing the company sales in the youth drinking markets. Just goes to show you, folks, sometimes when things aren't going well, you've got to rebrand. So thanks for tuning in today to this episode of Brisk Bottles. Not a hitch in that whole operation. Cheers me.
Hey, cheers. I think I've done worse intros. I'll tell you that. That much is true. And the joke at the end was good. So
it's all worth it.
Brisk Bottles was worth the whole.
It's all about the difference. Yeah,
the
the start was so bad, and then the second part's like okay, and then it's like holy shit, that was a great punchline.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you this. You may have fucked up the intro. Astute listeners would know last week I didn't even use our right microphones. We're recording out of our computer mic the whole time.
We're bumbling idiots.
Yeah, well, hey, that's part of the show here at Brisk Bottles.
Drunk. Brisk Bottles is going to take the nation by storm.
All we needed was a rebrand.
Welcome to Brisk Bottles, folks. As you heard in the intro, today we're drinking Newcastle Brown Ale.
The one and only.
The one and only.
On the bottle.
It's a UK beer, but this says brewed in Holland, which last time I checked is still in the EU. I don't even know if they are, actually.
Well, after Brexit, Holland has nothing to do with the UK. Actually, well, England.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I understand what you're saying.
Current events, heard of them?
Oh, yeah. Drink cold, it says at the bottom of this. That's the first thing that caught my eye.
I like that.
I like to, yeah. What's your take? Do you like brown ales?
I think so, yeah. I don't typically like ales like, India Pale Ales and such.
Yeah.
But this is fine. It's a nice drinkable thing.
It's closer on the spectrum to like a Pilsner or something more drinkable.
Yeah. It's got like kind of a red tint to it, which is nice too.
Yeah.
It's like a little wine-like.
Yeah, but it's not offensive or strong by any means. So
no, yeah. Not in flavor or anything else besides the color. That's what I meant by the wine thing.
Yeah,
Get off my back. Some of us make mistakes, okay? I'm sorry.
Never me,
I'm
though.
sorry.
I always like beers that look and feel like they should be like an intense beer, and then end up being more subtle.
Like Guinness.
Like Guinness does that really well. This is another one where you're like, oh shit, I'm in for a Newcastle.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's really refreshing. For whatever reason, they just have like smoothness with them, just like last week's beer.
You'd think brown ale in, brown ale out, but really it's brown ale in, well, wheat, water out. Sorry, keep going.
What was the saying? I gotta see a man about a dog.
Yeah. So in parts of the UK, I also read this on the Wikipedia page. Parts of the UK, this beer is known as dog.
Dog.
Yeah, the nickname dog, alluding to the British euphemism of seeing a man about a dog, which generally means you're going to take a shit. So you're going to go get some brown ale out of you.
Yeah.
That's good stuff.
I think that's really good stuff. I don't like thinking about brown ale as my shit.
Yeah, this also says, which I made a reference to in the grocery store earlier, some call Newcastle... it even says on here. Some call Newcastle Brown Ale the dog, Brune, or Nuki Brown. But we just call it smooth brown deliciousness.
Which is also what I call my shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Cheers,
mate. Oh, that's good stuff.
Yeah, a little poop humor. Is there an origin with the one and only, or is that just their slogan?
Okay, so I was reading a little on the Wikipedia page. I got bogged down in the details, which I don't like to do. And it says this blue star, capital J, this blue star on the front it signifies the 5 breweries that made up Newcastle originally. So apparently 5 breweries combined to start making this at some point. It does say it was brewed by a third-generation brewer, Lieutenant Colonel James, or Jim, or Herbert Porter.
Okay. But I still don't really understand the one and only.
I didn't see anything about that, Joe.
So the answer to my question was just a different point.
There's something about, like, this beer came about because somebody was trying to replicate another beer that was popular at the time.
Okay.
They didn't do well in replication, but this is what came out of it. And then
Okay.
other people tried to replicate this and couldn't do it. And so I think that's where the one and only probably comes from.
Okay. Yeah, well, replication or not, mass market or not, this is a damn fine beer. I honestly don't think I've ever had a Newcastle Brown Ale in my entire life.
I know. I was saying that. Like, I've always seen this on the shelves. Never picked it up. It's never stood out to me as like,
It doesn't
I should
stand
try
out.
that.
Yeah. Like, it's not, it's in that category of beers that is neither cheap beer pong beer, which we have referred to as deplorables, nor is it like, craft beer where you go local. And I never reach for these types of things. Heineken's in that category. This is a lot of beers that we've done that are similar to that. Fat Tire. But yeah, there's really no reason not to. I guess there is. Like, who's your market if you're Newcastle, right? I mean,
The kids, as you heard in the opening, if you were listening, sells very well in student unions. And then they wanted to rebrand or connect with the kids.
But I would say it sells well in student unions then because it's like the cheap beer over there, right?
Maybe?
This is like their...
Student unions here, though. It was popular with young kids here.
Oh, now that I misunderstood.
So, here's another part that I didn't read. I left it a little something wanting. So Newcastle Brown Ale is perceived in the UK as a working man's beer with a long association with heavy industry, the traditional economic staple of the Northeast.
Yeah, like a cheap beer then. Utility
Yes,
beer.
exactly. And in export markets, it's seen more as a trendy premium import and is predominantly drunk by the young.
Right. Yeah. So...
Yep.
So their market originally was, this is their Budweiser or whatever. And now to us, it's your only market then, because it's not our Budweiser, so that didn't translate. It's not a craft beer, so the IPA heads out there, the hop heads, aren't going to get their fill.
Hophead Nation, sound off.
Or malt men. Hop heads or malt men. But it's neither the cheap stuff or the good stuff. And so it's in no man's land. I think its only chance here would be if it takes some sort of PBR revolution to it. You know what I mean? Like if it somehow becomes trendy and hipster, which apparently it is in student unions, but I'm unaware of that. Our student union did not drink this.
No. Well, it's got a little red, white, and blue action, but the yellow kind of throws it off. That doesn't make it as iconic as PBR, certainly.
Right. But a rebrand, as we talked about the top of the show, a rebrand could maybe do it. But for whatever reason, I feel like the hipsters latch on. There is no rhyme or reason. It's just a roll of the dice, and then somebody wins. But Newcastle really hasn't. So I think that's why it blends into the shelf.
It does, and it was kind of thrown over there on the right side, like between the imports and the shit light beers, like the shittiest light beers.
Yeah,
that's where it was at the grocery store.
Right.
So that says it all.
Right.
We got to fight for its spot on the shelves.
Well, it deserves a spot on the shelves because it is good. But again, it's not like there was something about last week's, the Red Burger, that was not overbearing, had not like a ton of flavor, but like was super smooth. That's not quite in this, and I can't put my finger on what that is. But it's not quite there, is it?
No. Because an ale is different than a pilsner. It might be as simple as that.
It might be. And I think it's more of a UK thing, like ales, like this kind of like brown or darker
maybe
lager. I don't know if Americans have latched onto that as much.
I don't know.
We like shitty piss swine, or we're hopheads or malt men.
Yeah.
Right?
You're going to start a civil war between these beer lovers, Joe.
Hey, Cold Cans Nation's been warring for years between whether they're
brisk bottles, please.
Sorry,
we're trying to connect with the kids.
Brisk Bottles Nation's been warring whether they're jumping for Joey or nodding for Nick.
Nice. Or necking for Nick if you're 18 and over. But in the state of New York, he only had to be 15.
Or jacking for Joey.
Yeah, there you go. Jerking for Joey.
Jerking for Joey. This is not that kind of... program.
Yeah, this is a new day. This is Brisk Bottles time.
It's Brisk Bottles. We're going to shed all that bullshit. No more vulgarity in this show. Seconds after I say
I've had enough.
And we're going to care about the rankings. We're going to talk about mouthfeel more. How does my mouth feel when I drink it?
Did you say mahalo does my mouth feel?
Mahalo. How does my mouth feel? Show me how mouth feel.
Show me how that mouth feel, girl.
We're going to take this show more seriously. That's how we're going to generate revenue.
Are we going to take ourselves more seriously
Yes. I'm done.
I'm done being a clown.
We're not going to shit post our lives.
No.
I was listening to Doughboys, who we often rip off on this show.
Yeah, great show.
And they had an episode with this guy, Bugmain, which they claimed was...
Putty sauce.
Yeah, they claimed it was polarizing.
Perfect.
We're both pro Bugmain.
Of course.
I think he's great. But anyway, he made a point of like, this whole podcast, he was talking about Doughboys, is just you guys shit posting your lives. Like you're being like ironic with like, with like taking fast food seriously, even though they do take fast food seriously.
Right.
I think we're doing the same thing, but
maybe we're shit posting, but they make tens of thousands of dollars on that show every episode.
Yeah, well, we're hacks though. That's the difference.
Right. We're not funny. We have no connections in the industry,
but
we're not good at this.
I think we're plenty
prepare
good.
2 minutes ahead of the show.
I think we record out of our computers instead of the microphones sometimes. I apologize last week, listeners would know that Nick was a little hollow, and that's because the microphone was facing me. And
hollow,
Nick.
on the mics and in my soul. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, it was not Mahalo.
That's actually why we had to rebrand.
Yeah, because we were at a point. The new low is we were forgetting to even turn the fucking mics on. That's rock bottom. But we're back. We're back with Newcastle Brown Ale, and
Brisk boys are here.
Brisk bottles. Brisk
bottles, boys.
But we still, even though we may be back, even though we may be rebranded, we still have a segment where we're gonna eat food while we drink the beer. But in this rebrand, that would be called eat and skeet.
Eat and skeet. Eat or skeet? Eat while you skeet.
I don't know. We'll come up with it.
Yeah, we're working on it.
But anyway, we have a what was formerly called Parable or Terrible, and this is I've never been able to say the name of this candy. It's a chocolate bar. How do you say it?
It's Swiss milk chocolate with honey and almond nougat. And I believe it's pronounced Toblerone.
Toblerone?
Yes.
Okay.
We've all probably seen these. It's a triangle of chocolate.
Classic triangle shape.
And this one came, there's like a half of it gone, which is weird. It came like that.
Interesting. Somebody had nibbled into
mouse
that
at the grocery store.
Little mouse at the grocery store.
Got into it. And you will see
little mouse
when
that had low blood sugar was getting cranky.
You'll see they spell out Toblerone across because it's like little ridges. Because I think Toblerone, doesn't it mean mountains or something?
I don't
Toblerone
know
of Switzerland. I don't know.
Let's take a picture of these.
But
ridges.
yeah, get a little picky pick.
With the
little picky poo.
Picky poo from Nicky Poo. Okay,
that's
the
me.
Toblerone ridges.
Tobe boy.
And it's missing the E.
Huh.
Because a little mouse had already gotten a couple of
that's
these.
odd.
Break me off a piece of that Toblerone.
That's where they could have caught on better.
Yeah, they could have.
Because we were both saying we've never reached for these. We always see them anywhere there's candy available.
Much like a Newcastle Brown Ale.
Yes.
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 How's it going on, Joel? Oh, he hasn't tried the beer yet.
I'm gutting it. Hold on. The chocolate was great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, went really well with the beer.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it does.
It has so it's got a little bit of if you ever had a Nestle Crunch.
Yeah.
It has like that, whatever that crunch substance is. I would assume it's just sugar.
Well, no, it's like, in here you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that might be the honey almond nougat, I would assume.
But nougat, is nougat hard like that?
It can be. If it's dried out, it doesn't have to be the stuff that's in a Snickers bar, really, or a Three Musketeers is a better example. But this.
Dried out and hard, that's something I've never been.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you.
That was good. Cheers.
Cheers.
The Brisk Boys are back. Ooh,
Oh, yeah, this is a new show. God damn it.
What if we're the Brisk Boys? We can try it out hard. Okay.
Oh, boy. No, listeners should know. The Rotaburger from last week, well, it's still on the table because this is a back-to-back, baby.
Oh, baby. Listeners had no idea.
Well, this chocolate is fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Why are people not eating Toblerones?
I think it seems intimidating because it's so long.
It's intimidating, and I think it's a little formal. It's a little foreign. Formal and foreign.
Yeah, both.
And people are like, give me my Hershey's.
Right. It's something, because you do have to chew it. That nougat is like gets stuck in your teeth like a Butterfinger almost.
Almost. God, it's good, though. It's really good.
Ooh, you know who this is owned by? Mondelez International.
Oh, what does that mean?
They own Nabisco, which makes Oreos. Heard of them?
You're a big Oreo brand boy. The boba. Listeners love our acronyms.
Oh, wow. So Toblerone was created by Theodor Tobler in Bern, Switzerland in 1908.
Okay.
He and his cousin developed a unique milk chocolate including nougat, almonds, and honey with a distinctive triangular shape. The triangular shape of the Matterhorn in the Swiss Alps is commonly believed to have given him his inspiration for the shape. However, according to Theodore's sons, and he has many sons, the triangular shape originates from a pyramid shape that dancers at the Folies Bergeret created as the finale of a show that Theodore saw. So that's much less fun than if it was the Matterhorn.
So he went to a show and they made some pyramid. Okay.
And that was the most rotted up he's ever been in his life. And so he crafted his chocolate after it. Okay.
It made it unique, though. We were going to change this show, goddammit. Enough with the rotting up.
Sorry. That's the old me. Yeah, we take time to change.
Give me a piece of that fucking chocolate. Well, I was going to break it.
Yeah, break one off. I'll touch that one. And it does melt quickly because this is milk chocolate.
This is the O on the Toblerone, and we've been eating back to front, taint to tip. So
the Toblerone was independent until 1970. And then they merged with the makers of Milka to become Interfood. Interfood.
Man almighty.
Here we go.
Candy, though.
It is. The product's name is a portmanteau combining Tobler's name with the Italian word Toblerone, a type of nougat.
Oh, okay.
So maybe it's Toblerone then, if that's an Italian word.
I like
Torone.
I think that I dislike portmanteaus more than I dislike puns, and that's
really
saying something. Yeah.
I love portmanteaus.
Do you? Portmanteau, I believe, is a portmanteau, right?
Is it?
I think that's the clever little wink that whoever invented it.
I think words are so fun, Joe.
I know, it's your whole shtick. Are you looking it up? Is portmanteau a portmanteau?
Oh, yeah, it is, because it also means a large trunk or suitcase typically made of stiff leather and opening into two separate parts. Oh, wow. Oh, my.
Oh, my God. What are you investigating?
Did you know that motel is a portmanteau of motor and hotel?
A motor hotel. Interesting. No, motor? The fuck sense does that
I don't
make?
know.
Probably that motorists, right? You can drive up and your door's right in front of you.
Yeah, I bet that's it.
So it's like a drive-through hotel almost. Like you drive right up to your door, you fucking enter, you murder someone, you get out, and you drive away.
Yeah, and you continue your life in the universe of No Country for Old Men. Okay, so the etymology of the word is the French portmanteau or something, from porter to carry and manteau cloak.
Yeah, so portmanteau is
yes, sort of a portmanteau in itself.
Okay, that's fun.
Sort of.
What are we talking about? Oh, Toblerone got us on
Toblerone, yeah.
We should
so
wrap
it might
up
be
terrible,
Toblerone.
Terrible
Maybe I should say Toblerone pronunciation. Did you ever see that person who had a YouTube channel and then they purchased, so they would be the top slot anytime you type in something pronunciation. They had a YouTube channel that would say the word incorrectly.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's a pretty good bid, actually.
Man, that's shit posting your
That
life.
is shit posting, yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Why bother? Why bother with that?
Toblerone.
We was right.
It is Toblerone. Okay.
That's from emmasaying.com, who also has a
Which-
YouTube channel.
Maybe the very person.
And then the top comment, of course, this is not how you pronounce Toblerone.
Well, is that
So then the person in the comments says it's Toblerone,
Toblerone?
which would make sense because it's
told
comes
you
from
I
an
didn't know how to say
Italian
it.
word.
This is all why nobody.
But it's in
buying this
America.
candy.
So we say Toblerone. No, you're right. You're right. That people are intimidated by it. I was intimidated by it.
Yeah, sure. I'm really glad you bought it.
I'm people.
You are.
I'm
You're
one of the Brisk
everyman.
boys. I'm just a person. I like to party and watch skin get cut. Yeah, let's wrap it up. That's very parable. Yes?
Perry Barrel.
No.
No.
I see you're done with beer there, Joe.
I loved this beer, but there's something kind of missing with it. But well, okay.
You got a 6-pack, Joe. Well, if you got to do one, don't do one because I don't want to do one.
Oh, okay.
Because if you do one, then I have to.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta get home making pork today on the grill. I'm gonna put some marinade on it.
Nice. Oh, on the grill.
Yeah.
So you're going to Instapot,
Yeah.
pressure cook, and then get a nice little
No, I'm not
char
gonna
on
Instapot it. No.
Oh, not at all?
Not doing ribs. Joey's famous ribs. No.
What time is it?
We're
It's
just doing pork
7:20.
chops. Well, I gotta.
You're usually eating dinner by 5:30.
I know. I'm very upset about this. I
Wow.
told my wife to have a late lunch because
Well, we
we're gonna
better
be here.
wrap this up.
All right, Toblerone,
Very parable.
Newcastle, all good. I don't have a mailbag this week.
Oh.
Nobody's getting at us. Get at us.
Well, we
At
haven't done an
Cold Cans
episode.
Podcast.
Well,
That's true. We
since
did
last
that-
week.
Yeah, since last week, which was recorded 20 minutes ago. So I say we just breeze right to those rankings.
Yeah, let's
baby.
do it. I'm
Uh,
sick of this shit. I'm
okay.
a Brisk boy.
Are you wild or mild about it? Or are you somewhere else?
Oh, no. A lot of mouth sounds right now.
From you. We're so sorry,
Oh,
listener.
that is gross. I'm probably wild about it.
You are wild about it.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. I think so.
Okay, so usually when we do that, we'll read like are
God,
you at
how
the
did
top or the
Session
bottom
fall
of
so
the-
far?
I
Probably
don't
the
know.
bottom of wild.
Okay, so let's read the
I got my spot.
last 5 of. Oh, okay. 3, 4, 5. I'm gonna read the last 5. Or is it in the last 5 the wild card? That's number 24 through 27.
No, it's not that far down.
Okay.
But it could be, maybe. I didn't look that far down. I just saw one that I wanted to put it ahead. Fremont Parkland Pills. I'm
But
done
behind
with that.
Liney's O.
But behind Liney's O.
So
Hey,
We're
get in
looking at
line.
well, we're looking at there's number 18 and 19 on the list. So this would be your new 19. So that means it's better than Boston Lager. It is. It is better than
Stella.
Fremont Parkland Pills. Yeah, it's better than Stella. Better than Stella.
Better than Stella.
Oh boy, we got to wrap this
Summer
up. It's better than
Shanty.
Summer Shanty, although I think that's criminally low
I
still.
know.
Okay.
By the way, 3.32 out of 5 on Beer Advocate or OK.
Okay. Any interesting reviews or anything like that? Anybody?
Here's a fun one from Scotty P88, July 5th, 2018. Okay, why review? ? Sometimes you need a good / light after mowing the lawn cold one. It's not expensive and is decent. End of review.
Okay, why review? I love how introspective these reviews get on BA. What am I doing here? I'm sitting here at my computer. What is the meaning
why
of
am I
this?
doing this? Why don't I go to bed and lay with my wife? Why don't I do it? Why can't I sleep at night? Why don't I go to work every goddamn day? Pardon my language. That's the old boys.
That's the old boys.
This is the
Yeah.
Brisk Bottles boys.
If I were dry and hot, I'd be there with my wife. But here I am, right in this Newcastle. I go mow the lawn, I come back, I drink one. Look, that's it. 3.62 out of 5. Okay. All right. I'm good with this. Let's slot this motherfucker in at number 18. It's our number 18. That's right in the middle of the wild card territory.
Okay, that's fun.
I think that's totally fun. I think it's totally good.
By the way, in pop culture,
Okay.
a Newcastle Brown Ale sign was seen in the movie Sully, in a scene where Sully enters an Irish bar. That's a little piece of
Newcastle-
trivia for you.
Newcastle paid the
Apparently,
film Sully.
yes.
You know,
Don't you always wonder how
chronicling-
that works?
Chronicling Sully Sullenbuck.
Yes.
No,
His-
I don't wonder how it works. Some producer.
You think
He's
it's
out there-
always product placement? Or is it
Yes.
like filmmaker has this vision? Or is the marketing team of the
I think
movie always overtake that and say, no, product placement, for sure?
I think if it's some art house movie that like Joaquin Phoenix did for,
Right.
for $5,000, it's probably the vision. I think for the chronicling of the journey of Sully Sullenberger and his history of his life, it's the marketing team says, let's step in
Probably.
here.
Hey, Tom Hanks.
Hey, Tommy
Hanks. Gotta love him. I don't know why I had to get that little piece of pop culture trivia.
I love it. All right. We did it.
We made it through, Joel.
It's number 18. It's number 18.
Also, a little piece from that Wikipedia page. I told you folks in 2000 they removed ale. They rebranded. Well, in 2004, to little fanfare, they re-added
They tried
the ale.
an IHOP.
They brought it back. In 2004, when they realized that the change made no difference on sales. So what the hell? We'll be back to the cold cans next week. The Cold Cans podcast is recorded in the Overcast room at Cloud Studios in Seattle, Washington. Visit cloudstudiosseattle.com